Easter Island, known to its people as Rapa Nui, lies isolated in the vast Pacific Ocean, more than 2,000 miles from the nearest continent. Scattered across this remote landscape stand nearly 900 massive stone statues called Moai, carved centuries ago by a Polynesian society with no metal tools, no draft animals, and limited resources. Created between roughly 1250 and 1500, the Moai were shaped from volcanic tuff quarried at Rano Raraku, where unfinished statues still remain embedded in the rock. Most Moai once stood atop stone platforms called ahu, facing inland toward villages, believed to represent ancestral leaders whose spiritual power, or mana, protected the living. The statues vary in size, but many weigh more than 10 tons, with the largest completed Moai standing over 30 feet tall. Their elongated faces, heavy brows, and calm expressions follow a consistent artistic tradition, suggesting strong cultural continuity. Some Moai were crowned with red stone top knots, known as pukau, carved from a separate quarry and placed high above the statues' heads, further increasing their weight and complexity. How the Rapa Nui people transported these enormous figures across rugged terrain remains one of history's most debated questions. Archaeological evidence suggests the statues were moved upright using ropes and coordinated human effort, possibly walking them forward with careful balance, a method supported by both oral tradition and modern experiments. For centuries, the island society invested enormous labor into building and moving Moai, reflecting a culture deeply focused on ancestry, status, and sacred space. Over time, however, this system changed. Environmental pressure, limited resources, and internal conflict likely weakened traditional structures. By the time Europeans first arrived in 1722, led by Dutch explorer Jacob Roggeveen, many Moai had already been toppled, likely during periods of social upheaval. Later contact brought devastating consequences, including disease, slave raids in the 19th century, and dramatic population loss, further disrupting Rapa Nui culture. Despite these hardships, the Moai endured. In the 20th century, archaeological work helped restore several statues to their original platforms, revealing their intended presence as part of a carefully designed ceremonial landscape. Far from being random monuments, the Moai were integrated into astronomy, social organization, and religious belief, aligned with villages, coastlines, and sacred spaces. They were not symbols of mystery for their creators, but expressions of identity, memory, and connection between the living and the dead. Today, the Moai of Easter Island stand as one of humanity's most striking achievements, created by a small, isolated society